So what's going on, guys? It's Brandon here,
And it's Jamie here.
and today we're actually going to be giving you our Mario Kart 9 track predictions.
Yep. Now let's just start this off by saying I don't think there's just going to be 32 tracks.
No, not at
Realistically,
all.
there's going to be some sort of BCP-esque adding courses every 2 months kind of thing. Right?
Yeah,
Because if it's
I
just
honestly
32,
think that
32
I
tracks ain't
honestly
enough.
think that with something like this, because of the sheer scale of 8 Deluxe, because of the BCP, there has to be something to give here. And while I don't think they will necessarily match the level of tracks, there has to still be a good chunk.
Correct.
So DLC is going to be likely.
Now
But these are just our retros.
now the only Nitro track we can talk about is Mario Bros. Circuit, as it was shown in the Switch 2 announcement trailer. Looks cool, looks fine, a bit like Radiator Springs.
Gonna say, like, I was half expecting Lightning McQueen to come round the corner. I was like, what the hell is this?
Yeah, I'm surprised country music wasn't playing.
Literally.
Yeah, from Lynyrd
But
Skynyrd.
there isn't a ton we can talk about it. Other than saying it looks like Radiator Springs, that's it.
I can't lie.
So
I
I think
can't
we'll just
lie.
move straight on to our retros,
Yeah, I
right?
don't like how it looks, but we'll move on.
Okay.
Right, now, retro predictions. What we're going to do is we're going to go course by course, say what it is, say where it's from, and why this track.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe some other candidates as to who could have been here.
Yes.
Brad, would you like to get us kicked off?
I would, yes. Okay, so in the Shell Cup, our first pick is Figure 8 Circuit from Mario Kart DS.
Yep, now it's...
Now,
Sorry, you go ahead.
everybody put your pitchforks down. Yeah? Listen, right? There's a few good reasons. First of all, one of these Mario Kart games is eventually going to bite the bullet and give us Figure 8, right? I mean, I feel like the last game should have been the game to do that, but, like, fuck me, I guess. I don't know. But with Figure 8 Circuit, the introduction of potentially 24 slots on the grid would make this track far more interesting.
God. Imagine the amount of items that could be bouncing all around the place. God,
Literally.
24 races would suit this track perfectly. Now,
Absolutely.
it's important to talk about what could have been here, and that the obvious candidate would have been Luigi Circuit from Wii.
Absolutely.
But
It's popular,
yeah,
it's chaotic, and again, 24 races would have suited it too. So,
yeah, it would have suited it perfectly. However, there are other Wii tracks that just got the nudge, and there really are a lack of DS tracks that haven't been brought back yet. So Figure 8 Circuit gets the nod. Next
Yeah.
up, Daisy Hills from 3DS.
yes.
You need a second track, and arguably one of the better ones. I know. Don't worry, guys, we still hate 7. But
Oh, absolutely. That's not changed.
Daisy Hills makes perfect sense being at this point. Not really a ton of candidates otherwise.
No, I mean, it suits where it is. It's a simple enough track for Shell, but it still has a bit of complexity so that you're not just falling asleep at the wheel.
Yeah, and it's a great introduction to gliding as well.
Absolutely. And it's pretty.
Yeah, it is.
So,
Yeah,
like, I mean, I feel like this was one. I think, honestly, this track inspired Amsterdam Drift.
probably.
It's very
But-
similar.
Yeah, anyway, getting on to number 3, and a great introduction to water is Sweet Sweet Canyon.
Absolutely. It also gives us our first canon of the game as well.
It does indeed.
Whether
And-
they change cannons to be like the old cannons, or if they keep glider cannons, is obviously going to be will remain to be seen. But I think Sweet Sweet Canyon is an excellent choice. I'd say it's the strongest track from the Mushroom Cup in 8 Deluxe, and we need at least 4 Wii U tracks, and this is a great one.
Yeah,
So.
makes sense. It's popular. It's pretty. Whatever they could do with a Wonderflower here,
Oh my god, they could do so much.
they could. But
More on that in a future video.
now let's hit with the money maker of this. Cup.
Yeah, boy. Here we go.
Everybody
Go on,
knows.
pal, you talk
Everyone
about
knew this was coming. Toad's Factory from Wii will be in the next Mario Kart game.
it. It has to be. How can it not be?
If it is not in the next Mario Kart game, I will burn a copy.
Yeah. I mean, this is going to be probably the most popular retro in the game if it does. It's probably one of the only remaining popular retros, I
Yeah,
think. There's probably a few others, right? But like Toad's Factory is up there.
Toast Factory is probably the most anticipated track, bar none. There is
Yeah,
no
in a
track.
long while.
There is no track that quite compares to Toast Factory.
Not at all.
Yeah, it's coming. Of course, it will.
Yeah.
Now, let's flip
Let's move
over
on
to the
to
Flower Cup.
the Banana Cup, you mean?
Oh my god, yeah, it is Banana Cup. Crap.
Ah well.
Same thing. Right,
Yeah.
and we'll kick it off with Toad Harbor from Wii U.
Yep. Honestly, hated this track to begin with, right? Despised it, right? But I've grown to like it. And it's easily the strongest track from 8 Deluxe's Flower Cup.
I won't actually agree with you there.
Fair enough.
I still hate this track, but people seem to like it, and it's quite simple. So I
Hey,
can
it
see it
wouldn't be a
going back.
standard karting vid if we didn't disagree on something. Come on now.
Yeah, I just don't see how you can see that as the best Flower Cup track in the Wii U. But
Fair?
I digress.
Yes, of course. I do like the dynamic of. Like, I do like how dynamic the track is. It's very vertical.
Yeah.
And I think it achieves verticality a lot better than some other tracks that are meant to be vertical, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it
Like,
does.
tracks that are meant to be hilly don't achieve it as well as Toad Harbor does.
It's got, like, with the corners as well, it's surprisingly difficult sometimes.
Yeah, it throws you off on 200cc as well.
Yeah, it's definitely a learn to drift kind of track.
Yes.
Okay,
And that
but.
shortcut as well. It took me ages to get that shortcut properly right on 200.
Oh god, that shortcut on 200 is awful.
Yes.
But now hitting it with Mario Circuit from Wii.
Yeah. So we chose one of the circuit themes from Wii, and because we already chose Figure Eight, then that kind of left us with Mario Circuit from Wii.
Yeah,
And it's a fair track.
there needs to always be a Mario Circuit. There's always a
Yeah.
retro Mario Circuit, and frankly, this is probably the one they will choose.
Yeah.
There is nothing memorable about it. I
Not
think,
really, other than like the chain chomp, I guess.
yeah, it's an incredibly bland and boring Mario Circuit, if we're all honest with ourselves here. But
They can make it good though, I think.
yeah, some wonder effect or hell, I mean, any track with 24 races is going to be hectic.
Definitely. I think we can make that argument for a lot of tracks. The
Yeah,
bigger ones, maybe not so much, but the small ones, definitely.
yeah. I mean, it's going to be here. It has. You have to have a Mario Circuit, don't you?
Yeah.
Anyway,
Right. Next up, we have our one and only SNES track being Vanilla Lake 2.
yep.
Now, again, this is one of those things where it's like we're almost meeting a quota, but again, this is going to go hand in hand with the 24 player mode, I think.
Yeah. So,
Imagine 24 people driving around an ice lake.
be pretty good. But
It's going to be hell.
yeah, something else to note is that this actually fills two quotas at once.
Oh.
Now, this is the last remaining theme from SNES that has not been remade, not Gloon Tour. And it's also the mandatory ice track. So,
Yep.
this one is probably one of the most nailed on picks in the entire thing.
Yeah,
Like-
I'll actually be shocked if this doesn't make it, or like maybe
It's
if
made
Vanilla
it.
Lake 1 gets picked over it or something.
Vanilla Lake 2 is already confirmed. There's no doubt about it. There's no argument. It's just no one particularly likes it, but you know, it's there. It's the quota. Ah well. On to number 4, Piranha Pipeline from Tor.
Yeah, so this one, after getting completely snubbed from the Boost Course Pass, I think probably deserves a place in the next Mario Kart as a retro. Surely, right? Like, come on.
Yeah,
It got so ruined. Like everybody thought, yeah, it's guaranteed, it's coming, and then Rosalina's Ice World just said, you know what, son, not today.
not today. But yeah, I don't see them just ditching this track outright. There was literally no point of them making a whole new track on tour just to ditch it.
Exactly.
Makes no
Like it would
sense.
just be lost to time.
Yeah, they don't want to do that. So, Pride Plan will probably get the nod in this one. We're predicting the end of Banana, but it could go anywhere.
Realistically, it could. Yeah, I'm pretty confident in it being in Banana, but like Jamie says, it could literally be anywhere. It could be in Shell Cup for all we know. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
But on to the Leaf Cup.
Now, yes, starting off with another mandatory track in our mandatory desert, which is GBA Yoshi Desert.
Yeah, one of the only remaining themes, one of two actually, remaining themes from GBA to yet come back. And
Yes, that is
I
correct.
think that Nintendo will be on a mission to complete all the retros in this game. To complete all the
Yeah,
sets of tracks. They'll be
I don't
complete.
blame them really.
I don't
I
blame them
think
either. The second you get the old ones out of the way, you can start having remakes.
yeah, exactly, and then you don't need to worry about what retros you pick, just as long as Nintendo pick them in the right order. You
Yeah,
know, I think if they spread their good tracks and their shit tracks amongst all their games, they can do a bit better.
yeah. And Yoshi Desert is actually a pretty good desert track, all things considered.
Honestly, yeah, honestly, right. I know that like tour remakes lose a lot of substance, but Yoshi Desert's tour remake didn't actually lose that much substance. It was decent. So I
Yeah,
actually added some things. There's Oases now, so
and I know it might be blasphemy to suggest this over Dry Dry Ruins, and trust me, I think there isn't a Mario Kart player who wouldn't rather have Dry Dry Ruins. But
of course,
you gotta go easy on the Wii tracks.
definitely.
And as I said, there's definitely going to be more tracks. Like this, the game just ending on 32 tracks is impossible. This game's going to last us a decade. So
Yeah, I mean, following previous precedents set by 8 Deluxe and the BCP, it's gonna go on for ages.
yeah, there's absolutely no way that that this game ends with 32 tracks. So Dry Dry Ruins will come, probably just not instantly.
Yeah,
But into Mushroom City from GameCube.
yeah. I mean, I've wanted to see this track come back for a very long time now. Um, I just think it's been snubbed a lot. I think honestly the layout's decent. It's a nice nighttime track. It gives me Moonview vibes. So it's probably it's the precursor to Moonview to be fair.
Yeah,
So
I believe this is also one of 4 tracks from Double Dash that has not come back yet.
I think you're right. Yes.
Yep. On to another one later. But I believe that they have something to prove with this one. I think Mushroom
Mm,
Bridge has overshadowed it for a long time. Duly right,
yeah.
because it's a better track. But Mushroom City will get a chance in this game, definitely.
Yeah, I think some people can be too hard on City for trying too much, I guess.
Yeah,
But
I hate the layout. It feels like a Sonic and Sega All-Stars racing track.
wow, fair enough.
That's not an insult.
Um,
Doesn't feel Mario Kart.
Understandable. I mean, some of the cooler tracks are in Sonic and All Stars Racing. To be fair, I mean, Samba de Amigo track, House of the Dead tracks.
Anyway, next up, Samba de Amigo.
Yeah, no, guys, we've predicted it.
Anyway,
Right. The actual number 3 for the Leaf Cup is a track that's been snubbed for probably about 30 years, nearly.
yep, call it the OG Ugly Duckling, if you will.
Probably, yeah. And that track is none other than the Raceway cousin, Wario Stadium
Yeah.
from N64.
And I think this is probably our choice for biggest glow up.
Yo, definitely.
What they could do
It
with this
gives
track
you so
is
much.
they could
Like
do
just
an infinite amount.
and this is something that I think I've seen in like custom tracks, especially on on the Wii, on Retro Rewind or something. But I saw a version of this track that was an oval track, right? But the stadium bit is an infield.
Okay.
That's really cool. I like that. So instead of it just being like a weird oval that's all wiggly, it's literally it makes sense as to why it's got a wiggly bit. Like it like makes sense as to why there's a dirt track in the middle of an arena. It's got an oval outfield. It looks really nice.
Yeah, I think
If they do
honestly,
something like that, the track makes more sense.
if they ended up adding the Wonderflower as well, this track could go insane.
Definitely.
Like they started rising bits out, adding some more jumps. Yeah, they could do this.
Yeah. Wario Stadium could end up being one of like a surprise favorite maybe.
Yeah,
if
But
if they play their cards right, and Nintendo pull off a miracle, Wario Stadium couldn't be perfect, pretty much.
yeah, and on to the last track in this cup that we're predicting is Electrodrome from the Wii U.
Fairly popular, good music, wacky layout.
Fairly
I think
difficult,
it works.
fan favorite. Yeah, it does. It hits all the right notes for us.
Mm. Yeah, and
Quite
it's
literally.
one of our sort of mandatory Wii U picks as well. It's a good track.
Yeah, it's a good
I'm
track.
notoriously bad on it, but it's a good track.
Oh yeah, you suck at it.
Yeah, that's just life.
But
I don't think I've had a good race on that track in about 5 years. So
yeah, but that being said, I can see it. I think
yeah, absolutely.
be quite a good one. But onto the first track in the Lightning Cup, we've gone Cloud Top Cruise.
Yeah, probably my favourite Nitro of 8 Deluxe. Big fan of the music, all the Galaxy theming. I really love Mario Galaxy. Great game. And this track is excellent as well, I think.
I think
It
this.
it plays to the anti-grav very well. The anti-grav is almost not noticeable. It's subtle, and I like it.
Yeah, and I think this track could play to its strengths, especially with the theming of maybe Wonderflowers. Oh my god, this track could play to its strengths.
Mm.
Yep.
I mean, think of the amount of levels in Mario Bros. Wonder that were involved in the sky and clouds and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cloud Top Cruise has got so many possibilities if they do that.
I think it could be absolutely amazing.
Mm. Anyway, our 14th track, second in the Lightning Cup, is GCN Bowser's Castle. Now, like we said earlier, with a few GameCube tracks that haven't been remade, one of these is GCN Bowser Castle. And outside of something like maybe BC Wii, this Bowser Castle probably has the most complicated layout, I think. There's a lot going on, and it's almost like they kept trying different things, but in a way, it's pulled it off quite well, and it's another reason why I like a very similar Bowser Castle in BCDS. I think that one is another Bowser Castle. I know you're not a fan of Bowser Castle from DS.
Oh, I hate it.
Yeah, I know. But I think they both very similarly pull off random shit thrown in pan. Um,
Yeah, but I think Bowser Castle GCN is probably the most intense Bowser Castle for me. There's just there's just something about it. It feels ominous.
I mean,
Like
the music helps.
it does, but it feels like the least cartoony and more like grounded of them all.
It's like the most serious Bowser Castle, which is
It
weird
is,
because Double Dash is the least serious game.
and honestly, the music complements that quite a bit. It's very gritty. It's very
Mm,
very deep, but I think it'd
big
be a
one.
perfect one, especially with. I know I keep saying it, but especially with the Wonderflower. Oh my
Oh,
god!
yeah. Right. Okay.
Oh
So
my god!
all of the castle levels in Wonder.
Yeah,
Right. Those levels are genuinely excellent. I love the theming and how it's not grey and orange now. It's almost blue and green. That's brilliant. I love it. Can we have that? I want that in a
yeah.
Bowser's Castle.
And ironically enough, that's a colour style that really complements GCN Bowser Castle.
Yeah, it's excellent.
Yeah. Anyway, on to the second last track that we're predicting, third, and the mandatory last Star Cup track being placed second last in game, Maka Woohoo.
Yes, this is a trend that started uh well, ever since Wii, I think, or even DS.
It
Um,
may have been,
I think it's Wii.
yeah, yes. It has always been a thing. It's
Huh.
always obeyed the trend.
Yeah, well, anyway, regardless of that, it just makes sense, and we haven't had one of the Woohoos for ever since 7, and we've seen Woohoos get remade in custom track packs, so I think Nintendo need to have a go at it themselves,
Yeah, and
and I think it would look stunning on the new hardware, I think.
yeah, and frankly, I think if it ends up being more Nintendo karty,
Mm.
what else? Hell yeah!
I mean, it complements it so well, especially like you say, if it's more Nintendo Karty, that gets the Mii's more involved, and then maybe you can see your Mii's on track again.
Yeah, that'd be
I
pretty
can
nice.
imagine that.
That'd be amazing. But the last track has to be a Rainbow Road. But which Rainbow Road is it, Brenner?
Well, our Rainbow Road pick is none other than Mario Kart Super Circuit's GBA Rainbow Road.
Yeah. And
The
as we've already
reasoning
said,
behind this is we feel that a lot of the other slots have been taken up by other games, and there's not really enough GBA rep in this set of retros. But outside of that, it's followed its own trend. And next up should be, logically, GBA Rainbow Road.
yeah. And as we said before, this doesn't mean it's going to be the only Rainbow Road. There will be more tracks.
Oh,
But
absolutely.
from the start, GBA is a pretty good one. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
imagine 24 races bouncing across the track.
Yeah, I mean, if anybody in our comment section has ever played GBA Rainbow Road, which you likely have if you're watching a video about retro predictions, you will understand that the edges of the entire track are just bounce pads. So you touch any edge, and you are going flying.
Yep. I
So
mean,
good luck staying on.
and frankly, it's a beautiful track. And
Oh, it is.
it hasn't been done justice, and I think this would be the perfect game to do that.
Yeah.
Truly, this is the most chaotic Rainbow Road. Just
Like, I mean,
absolutely everything is going on.
think about the verticality they can add. Like, obviously, we've only really seen it from Nintendo on the GBA, so it's flat. But
Yeah,
what if the track got a lot more curvy, a lot more hilly, up and down? It's gonna look so good.
I think it will. But tell us what you guys think about our predictions in the comments.
Yes, we'd love to hear more. We'd love to hear what your retro predictions actually are, and if you think ours are complete shit. Because then we can have a bit of a discussion in the comments, can't we, Jamie?
We can indeed.
But that is all we have time for in this video. I want to thank you all of you guys very much for watching, and if you want to see more of our karting content, then be sure to hit that subscribe button. But that is our checkered flag, and I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye, guys.
See you guys.